Welcome to the Thrive Club Co podcast. This episode that you're about to listen to is from the archives before our rebrand to Thrive Club Co. But the message we delivered then is still aligned with our core mission and core message today. Enjoy. Episode 8, Embracing Feminine and Masculine Energies. Welcome back, y'all. I'm Jordan Jade, and you're listening to the It's a Thrive podcast, where we dive headfirst into the good, bad, and the ugly of healing journeys, from overcoming mental blocks and conditioning to rewiring our brain using neuroplasticity. I invite you to join along and go from just surviving to absolute thriving. Let's dive in. We are keeping on the topic of February for all things love, personal self-love, relational love, all things love. And on that topic, we're opening today talking about energy, feminine and masculine energies, which last week's podcast and almost every podcast so far, in one way or another, I discuss energy in some form. The energy is all around and all within us. And specifically for today, what is masculine and what is feminine energy beyond just what it might sound like? Both of those energies are in every single individual. Feminine energy is often what you see as something a little softer, nurturing, that empathetic, encompassing, and caring for other people. Masculine energy can often be seen as that very tenacious, strong, maybe even sometimes rugged, the provider, the protector, which is a nurturing aspect in a different way, but it's going to have a little bit harder edges around it. So both of those energies are in every single person. But from person to person, it's going to balance out a little bit differently, given where you're at in your life too. It's going to play a role of, do you have a little bit more feminine energy in your life or a little bit more masculine energy in your life? It took an exponentially long time for me to actually come to terms with and truly believe and realize that being in a feminine energy and having a feminine aura about yourself does not mean that you are a weak individual or not a strong person. It took me forever, a lifetime, to realize that I can be both feminine and strong. There is no one or the other. And that was a huge awakening. And I think a lot of individuals do struggle with that. As a woman, I think many of us do struggle with that, of coming across as a strong individual, but will being seen as too feminine, whatever too feminine is, will that make me appear not as strong, not as educated, a little bit weaker, not taken seriously? It's very empowering to come to terms and realize that you can absolutely balance both of those energies, and it's healthy to do so. That I feel empowered and that you feel confident enough to embrace femininity and use that actually as a strong suit in your pocket. Personally, I'm a planner through and through. I feel like I plan about 80% of the time in general, and I allow for a good 20% of spontaneous activities. But planning also allows me to have those spontaneous moments because I know that I've gotten XYZ done and I can enjoy a spontaneous, day or trip or adventure. But the point is that I'm a planner, and I've always known that about myself. But growing up, I know that I moved with a much higher masculine energy. And growing up, having to fully rely on myself to plan things, to plan how I would get to school, how I would get to work, planning every aspect of my being to make sure I was taken care of and had what I needed to survive and to be taken care of. And that energy after a long time can very much wear you down. And it was a strong suit for me in education, a strong suit for me in a work environment, and being an entrepreneur. It is a huge strong suit to have that masculine driving energy to take charge, to take initiative, to plan your life and go after it. Coming to relationships, it was a very tricky thing for me to take a step back as that dominant masculine energy role, and to even have to figure out something's off or something's not working here. It had just come so natural to me my entire life to take more of that initiative or a leadership role, which absolutely is important, and it has great moments in life to continue to do so. But with relationships, there had to be a better balance overall. Coming into relationships and dating in a healthier manner as well, learning how to allow a man to plan something for me, to not rob him of that gift, to take the initiative to plan something. I think that was one of the biggest things, a huge takeaway at least, in therapy, and a reminder in my friend group was don't rob another person, whether this is in a relationship or not, but don't rob another individual of a growth opportunity or their ability to plan something and deliver something to you as a gift. Not even talking in the sense of a tangible gift necessarily, but the gift of delivering something to you. Don't take that experience or the opportunity away from them. And a big part of that was for me was letting that energy, that higher masculine energy, kind of release itself a little bit, stepping into a more feminine, embraced energy of allowing a man to plan a date. I think a big one was not opening my own door. When I did start dating again, the first person that I had gone out on a date with, and I will always be thankful for learning this lesson from him of, I know that you can open a door on your own, but that's not the point. I want to open a door for you to show you I appreciate you, to show you my care for you, my adoration and my admiration for you. I know that you're fully capable to open that door, but please allow me the gift to open it for you. That was the biggest switchover. And I think especially I live in Texas right now, embracing that gentleman behavior. I thought, oh my gosh, sign me up for this for the rest of my life. I love this. It immediately put me too in a more relaxed state of it's not threatening me that I'm capable enough to do this. Don't think that I'm not by doing this for me. It made me not get defensive in that mindset and to instead think, thank you. There's a phrase that like everyone knows a queen's worth. Everyone knows that a queen can do anything. She's high in power. She takes care of her people for the betterment of her people. And she's treated in such a way as a queen, not because she's incapable, but because she is so capable that adoration is expressed to her in so many ways to take care of her and keep her in that queen treatment. So entering into a mentality of allowing yourself to be taken care of in those ways and not having to be a dominating masculine energy force in a relationship truly shaped the way for me. And I'm very grateful that I had learned that lesson from that person I dated. It was something I took from relationship to relationship. And I learned, you know what? That is going to be my expectation. That is something that I'm going to look for. And it can feel very weird at first too, especially if you're going on a first date with someone, and how do you introduce that or bring up, hey, I need you to open up my door, or this is what I want. If they take that first step and off the bat, they're opening your door, bravo and well done. If they're not, pretty immediately, in a very concise, clear, calm way, express that that is something that you're looking for and something that you would like for next time to be shown that. And it's pretty amazing that just by clearly communicating, not getting defensive or upset about it, but just saying, hey, I'm going to bring this to your attention. This is what I'm looking for. And this is what I would like. It's pretty amazing that most men will make that switch over and do that if they hadn't done that before. And if they don't continue to do that, well, you have your answer. And I think too, for a long time, almost weirdly didn't want that type of queen treatment, that princess treatment, that gentlemanly treatment towards me. I didn't want that princess treatment because an unhealed part of me thought that it threatened my strength, that it threatened my masculine safety net in the existence of survival mode through a large healing journey and realizing that that just doesn't have to be the case. Now that is my expectation. And being able to bring walls down with someone that you trust and say, hey, this isn't a threat to who I am as an individual, but I'm going to embrace and allow you to show me your affection to me, that I can let you kind of take the wheel a little bit and I can relax and not rob you of that opportunity to show up and deliver for me. But switching over the mindset that this isn't a threat, this is actually a gift to me is the biggest thing. And on that topic of surrendering to that moment, surrendering and allowing of that, those actions to come towards you, surrendering of those energies and balancing that masculine and feminine, surrendering also and not chasing someone after you. You can make it absolutely known that here is my interest, here is my intent for you. But to chase and chase and chase, like a dog chasing its tail, it's never going to catch it. It inevitably would probably push it further and further away. And I had realized that when I chose to stop looking for something and searching and going, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this perfect person? Why isn't this dating experience working out, right? It's all redirection, that you're not chasing after anything. You're attracting exactly what you want, what you are looking for, surrendering and fully trusting that this is what I'm looking for in a partner. This is what I expect. This is what I need. And I surrender and know that I'll put that energy out there and that it will attract those people to me. It's absolutely incredible because the second that you actually let go and you stop looking for someone or trying to force something to work, it's magical how people and the right people can come into your life once you let it go a little bit. When you don't feel threatened by a masculine or feminine energy and presence, that it's not a threat, that you just know exactly what you're looking for and how you want to be taken care of or how you want to be treated and how you want to reciprocate in a relationship as well. When you let it go and you just know what you're looking for and you trust and surrender and know it's going to happen in your own timing, that's usually when you meet your person. I mean, it was pretty incredible when I finally let that year go by of not dating anyone, not having relations with anyone, and I allowed myself to open up to dating. I was clear of the type of man I was looking for, how I wanted to balance my feminine and masculine energy in a relationship now in a healthy way going forward. It was weird how it opened up those gates of different types of men approaching me. And the men that I had gone on dates with, where the whole purpose of dating is to find your person, right? And it's okay when things don't work out. And if after a few dates you realize, hey, we're just not fully compatible, or I think we're looking for different things, or straight up, this just isn't going to work, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be this big blowout, huge issue. Sometimes things can be completely right with the other person. There's nothing wrong with them, but that chemistry, that connection isn't there, or there's just some things not aligned on a foundational level. That's okay. That's the purpose of dating. And as adults, we can always have that clear communication, say, this just isn't working out. There's nothing wrong. And I appreciate this time that we've spent dating, and it's time for us to move on. After experiencing that with a couple of people, I would tell myself when I would meditate and pray that I know my future husband is out there. I know for a fact that my future partner and I are already married. We live in a non-linear timeline that I know our beautiful marriage already exists. I've already met him. And that's okay that in this present moment, I don't know who he is, but I know that it already exists. And I trust that when the time is right for us to meet, we're going to meet. And I swear, when you fully embrace and surrender that, your person will come into your life. I'd experienced dates with a few people, and the more I surrendered and fully believed in that, just a couple of months had gone by when my current partner walked into my life. And kind of just like that, you never know when it's going to happen. but you have to fully believe that it already exists. And you're not chasing, you're putting yourself out there, and you're really just putting your energy out there that attracts other energies and other like minds. And to kind of switch gears, but still remaining on the topic, these energies circulate between both men and women. Men have feminine energies as well. Women have masculine energies as well. And maybe that's a little bit more discussed, but men absolutely have feminine energies, and it makes them no less of a man. If anything, it makes them a very strong man who can be there to support his partner. If a man can be that protector in a relationship and also embrace an empathetic side to listen, to communicate with his partner, and embrace that feminine energy aspect, that is a recipe for a winning relationship. And there's going to also be times for women where we have that balance of masculine energies. Personally, for me, I think I know how to channel it differently. As an entrepreneur, I have a lot of my masculine energy in that way. And I also balance the feminine energy, the softness about me, that I know that being feminine and having a softer representation makes me strong. Balancing the both of them makes me strong because I confidently embrace both. It makes me no weaker by any means. And embracing the importance of having a partner who you can open up and break those walls down with, that you can kind of express that, and having someone, finding a partner, for example, where you are able to open up your heart in a softer way and find a partner who you can cry to, who you can be emotional with, who you can be your ugliest and your worst and your best around, and have them as that safe space, that protective energy that holds space for you to be all sorts of those emotions. What an incredible, amazing feeling that is. I'm very curious to know how many other people also, I think, have struggled with the balance between embracing masculine and feminine energy in their life, balancing that duality between their professional lives, their romantic lives, and just who they are as an individual on the day-to-day basis. But to wrap up today's topic of balancing and embracing energies, we have to finish off with some affirmations, of course. And I'm actually going to start doing something a little different now, which was a feedback recommendation from one of our listeners. Thank you so much, Julie. Shout out to you. I will now be putting all of the affirmations that I typically like to keep towards the end. I'll put them in the show notes below. That way you can copy and paste them, edit them how you wish and how you see fit for yourself. Put them in your reminders, put them in your notes to repeat them and say them throughout the day. Have that neuroplasticity really working in your favor as you're saying these affirmations. Choose what works for you, change it up as needed. Starting with our affirmations now. I allow myself to be in my feminine energy. I allow myself to balance both feminine and masculine energy. There is strength in my feminine side of me. I am feminine and strong at the same time. And for the women, for the ladies, an affirmation geared more towards the ladies. An affirmation geared more towards the women listening in. I am feminine and strong at the same time. An affirmation geared more towards the men listening in. I am masculine and allow myself to feel my emotions at the same time. Affirmations and the neuroplasticity of rewiring your brains to change your thought, behavior, belief pattern, and system. I always recommend doing your affirmations throughout the day as many times as you can, as many times as you need, as triggers and pop-ups happen. But truly wake up to your affirmation and go to bed to your affirmation, and then sneak one more time in there throughout the day at any point, or any point that you need it to be. But with all of that being said, thank you so much again, everyone, for listening in. So far, I've been getting great feedback for incorporating the video aspect, but please make sure, leave any feedbacks, comments, or questions below. Make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast channel. And remember, it's not just a vibe, it is a thrive. And it's your life to thrive.